Hi everybody, I am in my laboratory at Leahy and this is my favorite senior tech, Liz. She was actually a student of mine at UMass Lowell and she's going to demonstrate what we did in class today for Lab 7 where we're learning about the GI tract pathogens, Salmonella and Shigella. So, the class got 3 unknowns today. They got unknown 1, 2, and 3. And we're going to work up the ones that we can't tell if it's Salmonella or Shigella. If you remember from the flow chart and the PowerPoint, both Salmonella and Shigella are non-lactose fermenters. So, when we look at unknown 1, that doesn't look like a lactose non-fermenter. You can see its beautiful pink colonies. So that means we don't have to do anything further on number 1 because it's a lactose positive Pinko McConkey. So we know it can't be Salmonella Shigella. Number 2 and number 3 unknown are both, as you can see, lactose non-fermenters. They're colorless. So yes, we have to worry about these and rule out Salmonella and Shigella because they are both non-lactose fermenters. So Liz, hope it's getting blurry. So what we're going to do is we're going to set up the TSI. Hold it up. And you learned about this in the PowerPoint. Triple sugar iron agar. So it has 3 sugars, glucose, lactose, and sucrose, and iron in it. So we're going to be looking to see if this organism can ferment glucose, lactose, and or sucrose, and if we see H2S production in the bottom. So this is all you do to culture it. So we're going to use a needle. She's going to label her TSIs. She's going to get out one of our plastic needles. Okay. And she's going to pick up some of the organism. And she's going to first streak it on the slant, back and forth. And then she's going to stab it down so it gets to the bottom. Okay? There you go. And she's going to do the same thing for number 2. Number 3. So that's TSI for number 2 unknown. And now she'll do it one more time so you can see it one more time. Streaking it down the slant and then stabbing it down to the butt. Awesome. All right. Now, for 2 and 3, we're also going to set up an API, but we don't want to have to do it twice, so you're just going to watch once. She'll do the same thing for number 3 as she's doing for number 2. So she's going to label her API plastic tray, and the first thing we do is we put water in the bottom because we don't want the biochemicals in this API strip to dry out. So she puts some water in the wells on the bottom of the tray. She's going to place her biochemical strip, 20 different biochemicals on there. She's now going to use a stick.
Use a swab.
All right, so when does she use one of those? Yeah, she's just going to use the needle because we use sticks in class today. So she's going to touch a couple of her colonies. And again, she could use the loop, swab, or we do sticks. There you go. And she's going to swish it around in our sterile saline. Woo. And now she's going to pipette it into each of the ampules in the biochemical of the API. So she's sucking some up with the pipette. This is what the kids did in class today. And she's going to fill up each well. So again, we are going to do this. The students today did this for isolate 2 and isolate 3. Once she's finished filling it up, some of the wells are going to need a little bit more saline to fill it up to the brim. And some of the wells are going to need her to add some mineral oil on top. So the kids knew this by seeing if it was underlined, the biochemical, or if there was a square around it. So you can see some of them have like a square, an underline, or a square. So depending if there's a square or underline, we would fill it up with more liquid, or we would add mineral oil. Okay, so now she's going to fill up the ones that need to get filled all the way. The ones that had a square around it. So they're going to be filled up to the brim. And then there's a few that are underlined that she's going to take some of our mineral oil and she's going to squirt it to coat it, to cover up the ampule. So this is all we did in class. So I'm going to take the API strips and the TSIs, and I'm going to put them in the incubator, and the results will be ready on Friday. Hope this video helped you see what we did in class. And again, you already have a copy of the results because I didn't lose that video. I just seem to have lost the setup. Thank you, Liz.